This module is the introduction to the shoe last. A last is most commonly a plastic, or wooden, object resembling a foot. It can be described as a foot form. It is an object on and around which footwear is shaped, or formed, in the footwear manufacturing process. If lasts were made exactly to the shape of the foot, shoes made on them would be so ugly that no one would buy them. The bumps and curves are therefore smoothed out to give a more acceptable and attractive appearance. Toes are shaped according to the dictates of fashion, or practical use. Lasts must accommodate foot movement inside the shoe. So an allowance is added to the toe, called the length allowance. The normal action of bending, lifting and walking results in transference of body weight to the front of the foot. This causes feet to move inside shoes, no matter how well it fits in the stationary position. As the heel lifts, the foot moves forward inside the shoe. If the last was the same length as the foot, damage to the toes would occur. The last therefore has a length allowance over and above the foot length. This extension is usually 1 to 1.5 sizes, in other words 8 to 12 mm, but varies according to the toe shape of the last. Last with these normal allowances are called the classical lasts. These are the lasts on which classical shoes are made. In addition to the normal toe length allowance, it is usually necessary to add a further allowance, to cater for fashion requirements. If the last is to have a pointed toe shape, and is made with only the normal length allowance, the toes will be crammed or squashed into the front of the shoe. This will at first cause discomfort, and in the long term, result in permanent damage to the feet. Feet, not enclosed by footwear, will spread when bearing the body weight, because of the softness of the flesh. The inside volume of shoes needs to be reduced somewhat, in order to contain this spread. If this were not done, feet would slip very badly inside shoes, and it would be difficult to keep certain types of shoes on the feet when walking. For this reason lasts are made slimmer and narrower than the actual foot. Without shoes, we naturally walk with our feet flat on the ground. However, because of the fashion element, most shoes have a heel of some sort. Lasts, therefore, need to be made with a pitch that accommodates the chosen height of heel. No two pairs of fingerprints are alike throughout the world. Although feet are all similarly structured, with the same number of bones, muscles, tendons and other parts, no two pairs are alike. There are many differences in the shape and size of feet, and the right and left feet of most pairs differ. These variations occur for a number of reasons, such as nationality. Different nationalities have different characteristics. For instance, the feet of European people are very different to those of Indian people, and Indian people different from African people. Occupations. An occupation's sedentary clerical job causes feet to develop differently from those of a door-to-door salesperson, who does a considerable amount of walking. Location. Where people live also has an influence on their feet shape. People in mountainous areas are different to those of people living in flatlands. Activities. Even what we do for our leisurely activities will determine the shape of our feet. The feet of athletes are different to those riding bike, or those that hike, and especially those whose leisure activity is playing TV games. To correctly fit all of these types of feet, in different sizes, with even only one style, would take a large number of different lasts. The problem is also increased by fashion, which demands different toe shapes and heel heights. Just think of platform shoes. This puts the task of the last maker somewhat into perspective, and highlights the problem of the shoemaker whose footwear is expected to fit all types of feet.